Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My f28 husband, m30, is cheating on me with my school bully, f28 TLDR. I have found out that my husband has been having an affair with my school bully for the last 6 months. I want to leave him without confronting him because I can't bear being the victim again. I just can't believe that he could fool me. His affair started 6 months ago. I could trace it 6 months back anyway. It could have been longer. There were no signs, no indications, no change of behavior, no change in the bedroom. I just found out by accident 3 weeks ago when his phone was on the nightstand. My husband was sleeping with my high school bully. I grew up in a small town and this woman bullied me severely in middle and high school. After graduation I did everything to find a job in a bigger city and moved, leaving all the hurtful memories. I worked hard for a year, found an apartment, bought a car and later started college. That's where I met my husband. We got married 2 years ago. I'm 8 weeks pregnant. He doesn't know yet. I will tell him eventually, don't worry. When I was in college my bully reached out to me after we bumped into each other in a party. She was new in town and was glad she saw a familiar face. She never acknowledged what she did and I never confronted her. I didn't want to open old wounds, however I wasn't going to befriend her, so I just rebuffed any attempt of reconnecting. She still moved in the same crowd as my husband and me. I never told my husband anything about her or our past. I wasn't even sure he knew her by name. 3 weeks ago, when my husband was in the shower he got a notification on Messenger. I thought it was odd since he's not been active on Facebook or Messenger in ages. We know each other's codes, so I looked and there was her name and pictures telling him she missed his DCK. I scrolled a few messages back and there was a full conversation. I felt sick and my eyes went blurry, so I just left the phone back where it was and acted like nothing. Over the next 2 weeks I looked in his phone whenever I could. I found out that my husband deleted Messenger when he didn't use it, except for the time he forgot. I started doing the same. Whenever he's sleeping, playing games or out for a run I took his phone and installed Messenger. I could trace back their relationship 6 months ago. They've been sleeping together for 4. A lot of graphic descriptions of what they want to do or have done to each other, but also a lot about me, although it was often one-sided. It's always my bully asking questions and trying to get answers about me, and my husband either reluctantly answering or outright telling her not to talk about me. But they've discussed my sex life and apparently I'm vanilla. To her constant questions about if he preferred me better he answered that it's different and he doesn't want to compare. Discussions about me often ended in him getting irritated and stop answering for days. I have never cried my whole life combined compared to these last few weeks. I want to leave my husband, but I don't want to tell him why. I don't want to give him or my bully the satisfaction of knowing that they hurt me. I just want to ask for divorce and just tell him that I wasn't in love with him anymore and that I'm not happy in our marriage. It won't be lying, technically, because he's not the man I loved and I'm not happy in our marriage. I haven't told anyone what I found out, but I've told my mom that I want to leave my husband and stated the reasons above. She went berserk. This is so out of the blue and moronic, and the first question she asked was whether I was cheating on him or not. This was a preview to what probably everyone else will think and say, but honestly I would rather live with being the perpetrator than the victim this time. I just can't let that be hurt me again, watch me suffer and enjoy it. I just can't. I know I'm being irrational right now, but please put yourself in my shoes and tell me what you would do in my stead. You know, I do have to say that, again, while I do understand your desire to handle this the way you're planning to, some of these folks are making good points about exposing them. Even just forget the idea of letting everyone you both know about the affair. There could be legal benefits you're missing out on. Having the clear proof of the affair could put you in a much better position in regards to alimony, child support, custody, etc., than you'll be if you're the one filing for divorce and leaving him for no reason. You might want to at least get those screenshots first, just in case, and then talk to a lawyer about it to get their advice on the best way to do this, before you make your final decision. I did take a lot of evidence from their messaging. Not everything though, it was too much. If you don't want to be the victim again, go for everything. Don't leave a single stone unturned and make him and her regret the affair. You know damn well she knows what she did to you, and she knew damn well that was your husband. It's not a coincidence. If Op doesn't take harsh measures, that woman might not stop sticking around her. She seems obsessed with Op reaching out to her, then sticking in the same groups as Op and her husband, then starting an affair with her husband, then constantly asking questions about her, trying to make him compare and rank them both. A full nuclear cutoff and exposing them both will not only prevent unnecessary twisting of story, it might also get the bully off of your back, Op. That woman doesn't seem out of high school mentally to me. Won't be shocked if the affair gives her a taste of the old joy she got from bullying you. And as for the husband, why be sweet and kind to someone who could start an affair while attempting to have a baby with his wife? Such a cold-hearted thing to do. As if an affair itself wasn't bad enough. He might just be in it for sex, but he still broke the basic foundation of your relationship for petty hookup. He's not a good partner. I'm glad someone else saw the weird obsession that bully lady has with Op. Super weird. Same here. There's something in her that is broken for her to follow and torment Op. It's horrifying. She's in the dark triad for certain. This would be something to consider, getting a restraining order from this woman. This is unsettling behavior at best. Yes, exactly. If I may be so bold, I think Op is looking at this all wrong. She should fucking burn them both to the ground, metaphorically speaking. She wouldn't be the victim at all. Although it must be tempting. Spending less time in court equals peace in life. I wasted much of my childhood with court battles with my abusive mum. Although it granted the restraining order eventually. It was a long drawn-out process, and it would have been better to have gone the route of legal action instead of trying to make her suffer. Revenge takes more energy than it gives and decides if the paycheck is worth the distraction beyond just getting a divorce. I'm not saying she needs to have a protracted court battle. I'm saying she doesn't need to quietly martyr herself while he gets to be the injured party. Most states don't take infidelity into account in custody battles anyway, as far as I'm aware. Truth, this happened to me, but since I lived in a no-fault state, the court doesn't care who cheated on who. But keep that evidence anyway, and let him know you have it. Save it somewhere else besides your phone. He could steal it, since it could help to keep him in line because he knows you could show it to anyone at any time. Also, please be aware that you're gonna be in a situation where he's gonna try to make you look like the bad guy. So be very careful what you say and not yell or make threats. I wouldn't even drink in your home since you may be labeled an alcoholic. He could also video you without your knowledge, so act like you're being watched at all times in your home. Don't underestimate what he will do to not look like the bad guy. Edited to add, don't think of yourself as a victim, you're leaving a cheater and a horrible bully behind. Your life will be way better in that way, so you will be the winner. This lady followed her to another city and then started hanging out with her friend group. She then got into a relationship with her husband where she was constantly asking the husband all about her when the husband didn't like it. It's more serious than most of the people in this post realize. Why is no one calling her a stalker? You aren't a victim this time. Make them victims. Get on the offensive. Take him to court for child support. Proof of cheating will help make that happen. Make his family and friends disappointed in him. They will want to meet your baby. It will be his fault that they won't have the same relationship with the baby that they could have. If you just break up with him, he will go around bad-mouthing you. Mutual friends will pick his side. His family will obviously take his side. Your family might take his side because they won't understand why you chose to get a divorce. You need to have people in your corner. You need support. Your baby will need it. You would only be the victim if you choose to stay in this relationship where you are not respected. By choosing to leave him, you are automatically making sure that you aren't a victim. But don't let the bully win. Don't let your cheating husband win. The husband will be able to get more custody, less child support, etc. if you don't mention his cheating. Your bully didn't get one on you. She got your leftovers. She is a cheater. Make your husband regret his actions. Don't let him blame you for your actions. Take a video of the full convo on your own phone. You can always pause for single frame shots. And you make sure you send that video to a newly created email address with a password he wouldn't guess. If you try to walk away quietly, you make yourself a victim all over again. People will blame you because all they can see is you leaving a good marriage for no reason. When asked, your husband will say there was never any sign of a problem in the marriage, and you never indicated that you were unhappy. You just one day said it was over. The blame will be dumped entirely at your feet if you don't say why. You'll be victimized by your husband and the bully. Hold your head high, and walk out on the jerk, after talking to a lawyer of course. Make sure everyone knows that you're walking out because you know that you deserve better than that cheating bastard you made the mistake of marrying. Why yes, I was cheated on. Does it show? P.S. Don't be surprised if once you dump him that she dumps him too. Update: my f28 husband, m30, is cheating on me with my school bully, f28. Hi again. Original post. I shouldn't have deleted my throwaway before writing an update with what I have decided to do. Thank you all for the support. I have read all of your replies and I have had them in consideration when making my decision on how to deal with my failed marriage. Here's some points before the update. Many said I needed a lawyer. I don't know about that. We don't have assets other than a joint account for monthly expenses and a joint savings account where both of us can do whatever withdrawals. I have already transferred my contribution to my private account. I'm not trying to protect my husband's and his AP or their reputation. I just don't want to give them, the satisfaction of knowing how much they've hurt me. I have read all of your comments and the majority thinks I have the wrong approach. I have decided to follow my guts. About terminating my pregnancy. I'm pro-choice of course, and I've chosen my baby even before I knew I was pregnant. I can't get rid of it only because I don't want to be with its father anymore. Me and my brothers are children to divorced parents and we turned out decent enough. About my bully being the stepmom. The chance is slim and not good enough to convince me to get rid of my baby. I already love it more than anything in the world. I have broken the news to my husband that I'm leaving him. I had already talked to my friends about it, and being unhappy in my marriage seemed good enough reason for them to support me. One of them offered me her place until I find my own. I got really emotional and hugged her and cried because that meant that I could leave my husband's apartment now. He was shocked when I told him. I don't think he took me seriously at first, but he asked me if he did something wrong. I told him that I'm simply not happy with him and I think I'm still too young to waste my life in an unhappy marriage. He said he had noticed me being distant this past month, but never would he have guessed I was unhappy with him. He begged me to tell him what's wrong because this can't be it. He believed me, however, when my friend came to take me with her. This was Thursday. He has been calling multiple times a day but I haven't answered. He showed up this morning to my friend's house and begged me to have breakfast with him. I agreed. He looked like he hasn't slept or shaven since I asked for divorce. I told him that I was pregnant and that I'm keeping it, but he didn't have to be a part of its life if he didn't want to. His phone was on the table and he got a notification from Messenger. So he had forgotten to delete the app before meeting me. When I saw her name I told him, "Oh. Is that her name? You know, she used to bully me in school back when we both lived in town." He froze. "Oh, haven't I told you about her?" I told him everything she did and how it affected me. How she never apologized about anything. He was silent the whole time and just looked at me. I ended with asking him to be careful with her. I don't think she's changed much, to tell you the truth. He grabbed my arm and just watched my face like he wanted to see if I knew something. My plan is to buy a small apartment because that's all I can afford right now. A one-bedroom is enough until I have my baby and it's old enough to need its own room. I can upgrade later when I've saved more. I'm not leaving this city. I've spent my best years here and have the greatest memories. I have my friends around me and hopefully they will still be supporting me when the divorce is a fact. I have already filed for divorce, but he's probably going to ask for a thinking period. I'm not in a hurry though. Everything will get better. For now I want to cry, try to get over him and heal and be there for my baby. Proud of you, Op, you are super strong. I know you don't think you need a lawyer, but you could be shooting yourself in the foot. Reputation-wise I understand you don't care, but you have a baby to think about and you need to set yourself up with proper alimony, child support, and custody. This woman has been obsessed with you for most of your life. I don't see her going away that easily, especially once she finds out you are pregnant. This woman has been obsessed with you for most of your life. I don't see her going away that easily. This woman is your abuser and she won't go away on her own. A weak response is only going to encourage her. For the sake of your baby, you need to send a "this stops now" signal. I thought I will hire a lawyer if there's a need in the future. I haven't ruled that out. Right now I can't spend money on lawyers. A lot of divorce lawyers will offer a free consultation, so it's worth knowing what you need to consider, especially since you will be a first-time mom. If you plan on having him involved, a custody arrangement is good to establish child support, holidays, medical expenses, who provides the health insurance. It's also good to be proactive now and just have someone available in case it gets ugly, which it may. If he has attorney consults, then those attorneys cannot represent you. Now that he knows you're pregnant and left, he can become angry and try to control you by making the divorce bitter. Just be prepared. To add to this as well, as someone who works in a law office, I have seen spouses consult with as many lawyers in a city as they can to try and ice out the other person from getting an attorney. It is also important to know that once you consult with one lawyer at a firm, all the lawyers in the firm are usually considered off limits for you to meet with, because if the other spouse were to choose the lawyer they met with, the firm would be in a conflict. So go consult with at least one lawyer so you know you will have someone in your pocket if things were to get ugly. Take this advice seriously, it happened to me. When I started shopping for a divorce attorney based on referrals from a DA acquaintance, I was iced out of 3 attorneys from the get-go. My ex had consultations with those 3 attorneys and more. Be proactive and have someone ready to represent you. You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer. Sounds like your mind's made up. My mom also didn't think she needed a lawyer. Her ex made her life hell for 10 years and eventually got custody. Maybe you can borrow money from family or friends. You can't assume your husband will be fair in the divorce, because if he cared about you, he wouldn't be cheating on you. She won't. As much as her story hurts, she is the kind of Redditor who comes to an advice sub with their mind already made up about what to do. They are just looking to vent or look for validation with their post. I really hope the best for her though, and hope this decision does not bite her later. As someone who grew up with an extremely abusive bully of a stepmom who also hated my mother and would badmouth her any chance she got, I am begging you to take this seriously and lawyer up to get the best possible custody rights. There is absolutely nothing you can do to prevent this woman from sticking around and potentially being a part of your life, and she sounds exactly like the type of person to turn her bullish ways on your child. I have lifelong trauma from my childhood experience, and it has affected many aspects of my life and taken decades to work through in therapy. I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to warn you. You need a lawyer if you want to ensure you can protect your baby from this woman. If you're lucky, he'll dump her and you'll never have to think about her for another day, but you cannot do a single thing to ensure that. It's entirely in his hands, so please lawyer up. Please op, I'm currently watching a friend who couldn't spend money on lawyers and needed some privacy realize what a mistake that was. No one believed her revelations 3 years later when she wouldn't bring them up at the divorce and alimony hearings. She didn't get enough money, and now is ill. And because it was just a breakup, he tried to kill her. People are his friend and not hers because he gave her everything and she left. Please, please. Tell the court everything and have an attorney strategize for you. You do not understand how much you're giving up and underestimating the value of a skilled professional in this ridiculous system. You don't have to take him to the cleaners, but you do have to show why you're leaving, for you and your baby, and for peace for the rest of your life. Your story, not just his, needs to be told for there to be a proper accounting. It will pay you back, I'm certain, op. Please, take care of yourself and your baby. I'm thinking about you with kindness and good energy for you. They have free and cheap lawyers for single moms, in America at least. Try checking for those. Hun, the lawyer isn't optional. You need one if you're going to keep and have this baby. Family law attorney here. You should look for a legal aid and or non-profit organization in your area. Services are either free or on a sliding scale based on your income. You may also qualify for a fee waiver. Your courts should also have a self-help office that may be able to assist. Either way, I do suggest just getting a consultation so you're well prepared for the future. It's not a big issue now, but child custody and visitation can get tricky. Edit, I just read some of the comments on here. Lawyers are completely optional and are not always needed for divorces. However, it is a good idea to get a consultation just so you're well prepared. Another good thing is that having a lawyer will limit your interactions with him and it's someone there to fight for you. Someone also pointed out that this woman may be obsessed with you. You can also speak to the lawyer about that, specifically restraining orders in case things escalate with her. Look around if there are any women's organizations who have free support or access to lawyers, or at least low-cost ones. You absolutely need one in this case. It doesn't have to be expensive if you make it quick, everyone agrees. But having a kid will have so many things you never would have thought of, and it needs to be brought up and formalized. Get a free consultation at least. Just learn what some of your options are. You need a lawyer, love. Do you think you won't get one? Get on the front foot, find out what your rights are for yourself and your unborn child's sake. Much strength to you. Girl, you were amazing. If you'd given away you knew about the affair, then you'd just become the scorned woman. But now you have the upper hand, because he's going to be the scorned man. He might suspect that you're leaving because of the affair, but he won't know for sure. There will always be that niggling thought that you just got bored of him. There will always be a niggling thought that his AP was only seducing him for information about you. I bow to your upper hand. If it's what you need to do, then it's what you need to do. I doubt many could be as controlled as you. I'm glad you have good friends supporting you. And I think he'd be an idiot to not realize you know now. You did what you had to. And you did it with class. I think what you did was way more effective, to be honest. Because now he gets to agonize over how much you know, and how much she knows, and if this was a long con to her to duck with you. I would love for him to first learn that you know about his cheating from the divorce lawyers. That would be so wonderful. Also, op, you don't have to show them that you're upset to let them know you've caught them out. Low-key, cause I'm petty, I'd start leaking stuff about their relationship. But like a burner account. Send him screenshots saying I'll tell your wife or something. Or send her some you're sleeping with a married man. Would be a shame if your circle found out. But not in a blackmail way, cause that's a crime. More in a tell before I do way. But also just so they know someone knows, but you make it seem like it's not you. Because if you knew, would you be telling everyone about how your husband was cheating on you? And crying about how could he betray you? And if he confesses, you got to act surprised. You could also hire a buy for further evidence in case it's needed for divorce court, if that's something within your budget. Cause like others have suggested, this probably won't be an easy divorce, and evidence of an affair will play in your favor. If you really wanna do the "he was cheating on me with my bully" thing, just anonymously submit the evidence to someone close to you, like she should know, and it should come from someone close. I'd Kim tired and rambly. I think he deserves to know that you're leaving him because he's a lying, cheating bastard. In fact, I'd word it just like that. Nah, I think what Op did is more devastating. Telling him she's leaving because he cheated gives him something specific to pin the blame on, and he might promise to change to keep her. But this way, he has to consider that maybe Op is leaving because he's not good enough for her. He will wonder, is she bored with me? What exactly did I do? Could I have kept her if I had done A, B, or C? Trust me, suspecting she might know about the affair but not knowing if she did will hurt more than knowing it was the affair. This, up-pointing finger, the not knowing is always the worst part. Good on Op for having the strength to walk away. I agree. It's beautiful and he definitely will suffer more this way. Great job, Op. Especially since he can twist the narrative. You never know how someone will act during a divorce, and to me she is giving him way too many opportunities to play the victim. Neither nor the bully deserve this out. They deserve to be outed loud and proud. The best revenge is a life well lived. Best of luck, Op. I hope you and your baby succeed in all you do. Agreed. Op is free to do with the situation however she pleases, as she's living it, and these are her terms. However, I feel this allows the husband to play ignorant in the divorce proceedings and him to tout whatever narrative he pleases to his friends / family / etc., maybe even making her out to be the bad guy. It also sounds like the bully only cheated with him to bully Op more. In the previous post she states that she asks a lot of questions about Op and their sex life. She seems like she is still in that high school phase and hubby is just an idiot who fell for it. I think he is just realizing that. I hope he realizes that the bully used him in her game. I think he wanted her to know, so was trying to steer the conversation. You handled this with so much dignity, emo. Oops, he must have forgot to cover his tracks when he was trying to get you back. The timing with that messenger notification was the perfect opportunity for you to tell him about how awful your bully was and make him sweat about what you really know. He probably was talking to her about me leaving him. I don't know why else she would message him at 9 in the morning. I thought about that a lot. They might get together out of his self-pity, but don't think for a minute they'll have a healthy, lasting relationship. Be strong. On the other hand, the bully might get sick of him quickly once she realizes that she's no longer hurting Op by being with him. I still think you're protecting them with your silence. But that is your choice. A lawyer still seems like a good move because there's things like spousal support that is a factor possibly. It seems like you're trying to avoid getting some help to do things on your own when you don't have to. Just something to think about. Best of luck with the divorce and the baby. Reminder to set firm boundaries around custody, pregnancy and labor. You also think she won't be a stepmom, but you don't know this because I'm sure you didn't think he would cheat. Just saying. TBH, I don't think he's in love with her, I know he isn't, and she's probably not interested either when I'm out of the picture. I actually mentioned her this morning hoping it would make him understand she won't be a great partner or a stepmother. Even though I was hoping you would tell him you knew, the second to last paragraph had me cheering for you. I hope he's smart enough to read between the lines. Wow, you really laid it out there how horrible she was, and now he probably has a little inkling of her motives. He should feel incredibly stupid for having an affair, for having it with her, and for thinking you wouldn't find out and leave. You are a class act and I really hope you get the happiness you deserve. I hope he realizes that weird obsessive bully lady played him. Sorry to say this, but just don't outright think this won't be the case if he decides to step up and be a father. I don't see why he won't be there for his kid, and continue seeing her, common since they have to show something was worth it for the lying and cheating. She seems outright obsessed with you, so I can see her sticking around to be the cool stepmom. While it is possible, I think it's more likely she'll be out of the picture once reality sets in. I'm assuming the bully does not have kids of her own, so transitioning from AP to a stepmother role at her age would be a lot. The soon-to-be ex will have his hands full as it is, but he dug his own grave. AP to a stepmother role at her age would be a lot. Not really. Seeing as she clearly doesn't like op, she might stick around just to be a stepmother sort of figure. It doesn't mean she'll actually take care of the child whatsoever, but she may remain in the picture. I have no power to forbid him from being with her anyway unless I stay with him and she stays no more than AP, but that won't do. I won't get rid of my baby because of her. But what you can do is have your lawyer stipulate how and when he introduces your child to any of his partners. You can insist on them dating for a certain amount of time or meeting her first. Also, you should get spousal support and child support. Even if you don't want it, it will help your child down the line. Stick it in a bank account if you don't want to touch it. But by saying no, you're taking money from your baby's future. I'm not telling you to get rid of your baby, just be prepared, and really, I do wish you the best of luck. Thank you, folded hands. Op, it seems like you're not wanting to confront this bully in any way, shape or form, including telling your soon-to-be ex that you know he's having an affair or taking steps to ensure this woman has no, or a little access to your child, as possible, if she and your husband stay together for any length of time. I don't mean to be cruel or harsh in saying this, but I think that you should consider this in your divorce planning and act accordingly. This lady has made it a point to bully you in adolescence and adulthood. She is so twisted, she even tries to talk to your husband about you to get whatever information she can. Once she finds out you're pregnant, do you think that will stop? I'm not saying you should confront her directly, but in the long run, I think it would be helpful to tell your husband the real reason you're divorcing and get language in the divorce agreement to protect your child from this woman, or any future partners he may have, as much as possible. You're strong, you've been able to build a life in a new city, but this bully will likely try to impact your life for as long as she can. Please don't let her. Do you really want a child that she is going to raise and turn against you? The fact you are having his child is all the reason she needs to stay with him without loving him. But how can I stop them from being together? Not even marriage stopped them. If they stay together, you should at least raise the concern that she may abuse your child like she's abused you. I'm sure she's happy as hell right now knowing that you're getting a divorce, and that she won. You're being really passive, but if she sticks around, which she may do purely to spite you longer, you need to be more aggressive for the sake of your child as they get older. I don't think she plans to stick around, but she's also still targeting you years later, so there's no telling what she's willing to do to make you miserable. She may even get in his ear to influence him further. Well, I'm not being passive. I just don't know how to go about separating them should they decide to be a couple. I mean, not even our marriage was an obstacle, pensive face. You don't need to separate them. If they're still together after the baby comes and he has decided he wants to be part of the baby's life, that's where the lawyer comes in. You can stipulate that she's not allowed around your kid without supervision, or at all. Look, I know you don't want to keep your soon-to-be ex from his child and vice versa, and even if you can handle being an amicable co-parent, you still need to have a lawyer draw up a custody agreement for the court. It's absolutely imperative to do, because you don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, next month, next year, or 5 years from now. To protect your child, find a lawyer for the divorce and custody situation. Good luck to you, I wish you all the best, and hope for a happy little bundle of joy to brighten your life. He grabbed my arm and just watched my face like he wanted to see if I knew something. I have to know. I have to know what exactly happened after that. Did he ask you any questions? Did you just ask him innocently why he was grabbing your arm before pulling away and leaving? Did he even have it in him to say anything? I thought I wanted the affair blown up in his face. But instead this is so much juicier. Because now he will look back at all those messages that bully sent asking about you and comparing herself to you, and he will finally know just why she was so obsessed with you. He was nothing more than a tool used to get to you. And now that you're gone, she's gonna drop him too. And he will have no one. Brilliant work, op. He said nothing. I talked for probably 30 minutes without him interrupting me. When he grabbed me, I just pulled away. We said goodbye very soon after. He was crying on and off the whole breakfast. He's just realizing how badly he's been deceived by your bully. His weakness has cost him his marriage and his child. He knew she was obsessed with you and didn't want to answer her questions about you, but that still didn't stop him from continuing the affair. I can imagine he'd never want to see her again. I really hope so. I was trying to warn him. I mean, he would want to protect his baby as much as I do, wouldn't he? We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.